Club De Nuit Precieux is one of my favorite new additions to my collection. But how does it stack up between Club De Nuit and Intense Man? How's it going, everybody? This is Campus Notes, and I talk everything fragrance from the perspective of a college student. Today we will be talking about Club De Nuit Precieux, Armav's 2024 release, and because I cannot afford Creative Ventus Absolute, nor can I afford Creative Ventus, I will be comparing it with Club De Nuit EDP. Intense Man EDP. First, let's look at the notes of Precious. Club De Nuit Precious opens up with pineapple, lemon, bergamot, caramel, pink pepper, pear, and black pepper, oak moss, whitewood, jasmine, lily of the valley, anise, and then in the base notes, ambroxan, white musk, patchouli, cedar, amber, leather, and vanilla. And now to spray the Club De Nuit Intense Man EDP. So right off the bat, let me say this. These start very similar. They start about here. This one you can tell, Precious, has a bit of a gourmand edge, but they have a lot of similar notes. Now I will say my one gripe with Club De Nuit Intense Man is that it starts out with a very unpleasant lemon opening to my nose, and it goes away in about 10-15 minutes. Now, I do not believe that it is gone in Precious. I just think that it's more buried in a couple of other notes to where you can't pick it up as well, but you definitely still pick it up. So here in the Club De Nuit Intense Man, I'm getting kind of that lemon cleaner type fresh or opening. It's not a very appealing thing to call it a lemon cleaner smell, but again, for the first 10-15 minutes, this isn't the most pleasant fragrance in the world. Now, the main difference that I'm picking up is that this feels a lot fresher. You can tell that Precious has a lot more depth to it. The notes to Club De Nuit Intense Man are lemon, pineapple, bergamot, blackcurrant, apple, and the middle note, birch, jasmine, rose, base notes, ambergris, musk, patchouli, and vanilla. So they certainly share a similar thread, just as Creative Ventus shares a similar thread with Ventus Absolute. Now, I've heard it said online, and I absolutely agree, that Club De Nuit Precious goes a lot more into a gourmand edge. And I can tell that very well, because if I apply this fragrance right after I've eaten, it makes me feel a little sick to my stomach. And to that, if I haven't eaten in a while and I smell this, it's like the best smelling fragrance ever. There's definitely a lot of notes in Precious that remind my brain of food. Not in a gross way at all, but in a very pleasant, creamy type of way. When you look at the notes, you can tell that the middle notes and the base notes are shifted around a bit, and you can definitely feel it. This isn't just they changed a couple top notes and called it a flanker. This starts as similar as it ever gets, and they go in completely different directions, to the point where if these were both dried down and you smell them both side by side, you could tell that they were very different fragrances. I will say the opening to Intense Man is a lot less pleasant than Club De Nuit Precious. I've had a running joke with my friend that if we ever want to wear Intense Man to a 9 a.m. or any kind of class, we'd have to shower, spray this on, wait 30 minutes, and then go to class, because the opening is just not something that you particularly want to smell like, or at least I don't. Precious completely fixes that problem, and I don't particularly get very many particular notes. It's hard to pick out each note, and that's due to the fact that it's just blended so well. I'm sure a lot of people that have a more mature nose than me could pick up the individual notes, but for me, Club De Nuit Precious just comes together all of these notes, and it just smells like a unified thing, if that makes sense. Now, another thing that I would like to mention about Club De Nuit Precious is that the packaging that this is housed in when it gets to you is probably the best packaging I've ever seen a fragrance show up to my door in. You start off with the box, you peel it open, it opens up to another box, which is kind of this rubber kind of opening, which you unlatch, take this off, and in this metal enclosure, you then find all of this writing in felt talking about the fragrance. And then they give you a microfiber cloth to clean it, because that's another thing about this fragrance. I'll get to that in a minute. And there is your fragrance sitting there. This package just feels like a compliment to me. And there's a lot of other brands, a lot of niche brands, a lot of brands that will charge you hundreds of dollars for a fragrance, and it'll come in a cardboard box, and you open it up and it's there. And you have nothing else. What I love about a lot of these Middle Eastern companies is that they really, really care about the presentation, and you can tell that they do. This cap is not just a weak little like plastic cap. This is a metal cap. It has some weight to it. You can tell that there's quality and thought into everything about this fragrance. Now, to the microfiber cloth that I said I would come back to. This is a kind of a fingerprint magnet, so beware of that. And I think this one also is a bit of a fingerprint magnet. If a speck of dust gets on either of these, you can see it right away. So just keep that in mind. A lot of people online are a bit upset at the pricing. I believe this goes for about $45. Let me check. Yeah, like $45 to $53. I understand the people that complain about the price, because these Middle Eastern houses were originally opening saying, hey, we have these really crazy low prices. And right now we're starting to see them creep up a bit. But I will say, I don't feel bad about spending $45 for this bottle. I think if a designer gave you this, they would charge a lot more than $45. With the metal cap, with the bottle presentation, with the quality of the juice that is in here, with the packaging, I mean, this all costs money, a lot of money. And for them to still give you this at a relatively very affordable price, I think is still incredible. I mean, clearly with this fragrance, they were trying to do something more premium. You can tell with these that obviously they cared, but the juice probably isn't as high of quality. It doesn't feel like it. The bottle design doesn't feel as high-end as this. Still, they saved some costs here and there so they could get the prices lower and lower. For this, it feels like Armoth splurged on a bottle, charged $45, and is giving you an excellent, excellent product. We can go ahead and test this on skin here. So yeah, on skin, you can definitely get that lemon. That lemon definitely, it's definitely present. But honestly, it doesn't stay very long. With the Intense Man. Yeah, you can tell that the Intense Man is staying with that lemon cleaner kind of vibe, that sharp lemon, and this is automatically fading into that deeper gourmand edge, which is so beautiful. This is such a beautiful fragrance. Hey, I'm just gonna cut in real quick. I've been walking around and it's about an hour and a half later, and all I can really smell wafting through the air is the Club De Nuit Intense Man. And the Precious one is not as in your face, it's not as diffusive, it's not jumping off the skin as much. So, just a little long-term update. For Club De Nuit Precious, I would probably use this as a daily scent. I think this is a very expensive smelling fragrance. This smells expensive, it smells masculine. I've gotten compliments with, a lot of compliments with this. And I have no problem wearing this to class, wearing this out to dinner, wearing this to honestly wherever. And it does smell a bit fancy, but it doesn't feel like a type of fancy that you can't really dress down. It feels something that is both fancy and down to earth. So it can play both of those roles. If you're going to a wedding and you spray up on this, I feel like it would fit. If you're going to class, I think it also fits very well. It's just a very fancy, masculine, gourmand smell. I think that this is suitable for anybody college and above. I like how my reviews always say it's college and above. The thing is, I wouldn't be reviewing it, I wouldn't be liking it, I wouldn't be wearing it if I didn't think a college student could pull it off. There's a lot of fragrances that I love that I might not review because they're not fit for my age at all. I feel like anybody who just wants a really nice masculine fragrance in their college years, in the more mature years, I feel like they could pull this off. Now the question I ask to every fragrance that I review, would I wear it to my 9 a.m.? And honestly, I would. I don't think I have yet, but it just depends on the vibe that I'm going for. If the outfit worked for it and if I was in that mood that day, I feel like this would just be absolutely amazing in the 9 a.m. I think it's a bit softer and less in your face than Intense Man. Intense Man, a couple sprays and you are good. Yeah, so the Intense Man is just remaining that beautiful, bright, fresh Aventus DNA. It's so, so beautiful. It's so classic. I know a lot of people are getting sick of it, but I came to the fragrance world a little bit later, so I'm still loving it. I'm not sick of it yet. Such a beautiful DNA. This one, after about 10 minutes, which is probably close to how long it's been, this stuff absolutely shines. And Precious, it's just getting deeper and richer, and that's the perfect word to describe it really. It's just rich. It's very, very rich. It takes out a lot of the freshness of this and just makes it rich, gourmand, masculine, beautiful. So I would rate Club De Nuit Precious about an 8 out of 10. The reason why I give it an 8 and not like a 9 out of 10 is because that opening is a little lemony. Like the lemon in the opening I'm not super vibing with, even though it only lasts a very small amount of time. And the performance is great. I don't know why, for me it just feels like a step down from this performance, which makes sense. This is kind of a different fragrance than this one. It's built differently. But overall, this is an amazing fragrance. I think it is worth $45. If they were charging $80, I would still pay for it. And yeah, have an amazing day.